Welcome everyone. I hope you guys are doing well today. Today I will be playing another submission to the Yandere Game Jam of 2025. Looks like we have Grieve to Her Sorrows. This game was created by Dilays and A Fofis. Hopefully I said those right. I'm pretty sure I said all of those wrong and I really apologize for that. In this game, an unfortunate marriage arranged from birth has forbidden her from the potential of a romance in life. Yet, the pain of entrapment would not be so unbearable had it not for her days under the sun. So it looks like there is an arranged marriage. MC/us does not look like she is very happy with the ordeal. Hopefully everything turns out all right. As always, I have left links in my description if you want to play the game yourself. If you do play the game yourself, don't forget to like, comment, rate, what have you, to let the creators know how much you enjoyed the game. We're gonna go ahead and get started. And already the ambiance music when you enter the game is really good. Kind of has this sad feeling to it. The sorrow, like the Grieve for sorrow. There's this sorrowful feeling and everything, like kind of hope is not there. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. All right, in the current build, the game has pixelated font for the dialogue text. Press Ctrl Delete to customize your font. Okay, I think I'm pretty good with this text. All right, so our hidden's name, Lysa Dice, and we're just gonna change that to Lottie. In his arms, she sees divinity. Ooh, the art is really pretty here, okay. In times of celebration, all men are more human than divine. Lottie gets to witness the truth of this statement from her seat at the banquet, elevated above those dancing and drinking below, but drowned in all of their muck and grime. The scent of alcohol permeates the very air surrounding her, weighing down every breath with potent musk. If it is not for the wine in her system, breathing alone would have made her dizzy. The clouds in her head thicken further and further with every chalice, until she is left with no choice but to stop, unless she wants to make a fool of herself. At least, her dear husband cares not for her indulgence. Okay, so we're at some kind of party. Not sure if it's like the after wedding party that she's kind of forced to be at, but thankfully she has something to kind of give her a distraction. At her third chalice, he has thrown her a glance, but he says nothing of it. The same way he says nothing of her since the day he brought her back to his abode. So that's our husband from the arranged marriage. He's pretty, he's sexy. Like, I don't know why there is an arranged marriage though. An insignificant presence, worth not even a comment from him. Oh, okay. His guest, their guest, have graced her with the least acknowledgement. Although at times, their words make her yearn for her husband's silence again. By the fourth chalice, however, whatever comes out of their mouth stops mattering, for they no longer sound coherent to her ears. She stops at 5, staring at nothing and everything, waiting for all of this to be over, if it is ever going to be over. Her idle mind wouldn't give her peace for long, because that'd be mercy, and she has received all that there is merciful about the world. Only downhill from here. Only stray thoughts of a face that has no place inside her heart anymore, but it stays anyway. Lottie's fingers itch for the chalice again. The attendants never leave them empty, even when she denies another refill. Horrid be the bad habit enabled by those around her. She thinks of drinking again, when her mind begins to clear, when her heart begins to ache, drinking her sorrows away at this point. Her teeth gnaw on her lower lip. Maybe another won't matter. The bottom of an empty chalice won't give her comfort, but it poses a mere distraction from her sorrow. I mean, getting drunk at this point, I think we'll just stop and we'll see how this works out. No, This is a foolish thought. Drinking more won't help anything. Her mind won't find any solace here. It is one thing for Clem to lack his cheer, but it saddens me to see his beautiful bride this morose. A distraction. Lottie smiles, more for the escape from her thoughts than the person. My lady of the eternal night. She is not prepared for another conversation, not this late into the celebration at least. But the woman is a pleasant sight, not only for her beauty, but the conversation she brings. Far more of a talker, far better at filling her mind with mundane thoughts. Darling, enough of the formality. Have I not welcomed you as one of our own since you returned to our rightful arms? My apologies, Lady Calathea. Callie is fine, darling. Only my awful brother ever uses the namesake of our forebears bestowed upon our perceived forms. So they're gods, that's what I was thinking, okay. So I'm assuming we play as a human and then we just had to be in a forced arranged marriage with a god. I'm not sure why though, unless we aren't human. If it does not bother you. Calathea throws a sideways look at her brother, seated next to Lottie, but far enough that her conversation is her own. A dreadful bore, isn't he? Age has taken much of his joy. Now, all he does is sit and brood. Okay, so she is a sibling of our husband. She doesn't seem too bad as far as I can see. She's pretty nice. Doesn't talk bad about us, kind of wants us to get our spirits up. You should not take up his practice, darling. You are young. Go and enjoy life. There will be many years left for you before... Calathea gestures at his general direction. This. Even if he does hear what they talk about, he shows no sign of caring. Since the banquet has gone into full swing, Clemenos has not said a word, content with watching in his seat with an expression of perpetual boredom. Is this a party he set up and he's just sitting there? For how others dance on without the care for the host, she can only assume this is the norm within his abode. Lady Calathea has commented on it, but her word provides little insight. Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna host a party, at least try and mingle, be like a good host, so it feels kind of weird. Why is he hosting this banquet? One can say he does it in her honor, but she neither asks this or him, nor does he show any desire for him. If not for him, then who is all of this for? Lottie turns back to Lady Calathea's playful countenance. She stands in contrast to Lottie's husband, the Lord Clemenos. They have those same eyes, always searching, always scrutinizing, but never revealing a single answer, however. How has the evening been for you, darling? I understand all this must have been overwhelming. Yes, it has been long hours, and my constitution has not given me a chance to catch up with the length of your day. I can imagine. Some among us often avoid getting attached to those pretty little morsels because of their fragility, but you, darling, will be fine. The worst of the ills will be not more than a fever for you. Maybe a weekend bed or two. And then the days will be pleasant again once you regain your footing. I find comfort in your reassurance, Callie. The corner of Lady Calathea's lips switch at the slip-up, but she makes no note of it. Her cheer stays with her for the remainder of the conversation, where she fills Lottie's ears with idle gossips. Okay, this is much better than just sitting and drinking our sorrows away. We at least have some sort of distraction. Talks of dalliances and infidelities, another lover scorned, another mortal's death to careless hands. I have given up remembering the names of Xanthea's flocks of little consorts. It was fun to befriend them in the first century or two, but they always expire before they matter. Well, damn, that's not their fault, they're human. With a pout, Calathea scans her eyes through the crowd once more, searching for the next victim whose secrets will fall upon Lottie's willing ears. What she saw spurs her to her feet, flitting away in the whirlwind that delivered her. Lottie slumps in her seat, happy for a moment of respite. Calathea's words have filled much of the space between them, but if not for the music, their conversation will have to be endured with small talks from Lottie. She knows not if she has the strength to muster that politeness at this late hour. Not when her mind is a mess, and her heart clenches with an unspeakable pain. Her body seeks the harbor of a bed, any bed. As she thinks to make her retreat, her eyes turn to her husband once more. Clemenos sits by her side, but his silence cloaks him in a living shadow. She'd not be at fault for not remembering him there, not when he has spent most of the celebration in complete dormancy. His distant eyes paired with a permanent frown on his lips. He exudes an air of annoyance, even though all he does is rest his head on his hand. He has worn no smile and shared no joy for the banquet he has held in her honor. She would expect that much from a man who did not make an appearance in his wedding. But his indifference leaves a bitter taste after she has experienced a sweeter fruit. Wait, are they saying he wasn't in the wedding? Hold on. She should expect that much from a man who did not make... There's no shot this man did not come to their own wedding. Just stand there for like, what, 10, 30 minutes, say I do, and then leave. To be married to a man who seldom glances her way, she struggles to stomach these festivities and her name. Her fatigue reaches the only feasible limit there is. Lottie steals another glance at her husband, hiding her scrutiny behind a yawn. Unflinching, Clemenos maintains his gaze on his guests. She has to ponder what use is there for him to marry her, but it no longer matters. She is his, and pondering is futile. What is the point? He has no interest in her. I would assume like something political? Something like maybe power, a deal? But I figured he'd at least give her some sort of attention, acknowledge her. At least, she can find solace in the thought that if she ought to leave now, he'd not mind her departure. Her longing for her chamber has gone on for too long. Do I have to tell him? I feel like it would be the polite thing to tell him, but it doesn't look like he cares. But I'm gonna do this to keep insurance for myself. I don't trust just walking away, honestly. It would be prudent, at least. Even if he does not care, one cannot say she does not try. Lottie's lips part in askance, but before the word comes, she pauses, hesitating on how to address him. My lord husband? She fears for a moment that she has been too quiet for him to hear. Her words drown on the cacophony of the banquet. However, Clemenos glances at her in an instant, never much changing from his impassive countenance. I find my constitution waning. I wish to ask for your permission to take my leave before my fatigue overwhelms me. Clemenos' following silence leaves her thinking that he has not heard her. But before she feels compelled to repeat her words, he speaks. Very well. Oh, thank God. Okay, we can go. Oh, thank God. Okay. Her shoulders slack at his permission, but her happiness does not last for long as he continues to speak. Bro, what do you want? Let me go to bed. But, okay, what is it? His hand wraps around hers, warm and solid. Strange. She would never expect warmth to be associated with him. He lifts her hand to his lips, a faintest of a kiss pressing on the inside of her wrist. His breath is hot and uneven for the moment it stays on her skin, scorching the blood underneath to a boiling point. I will be with you later, once the festivities die down. Looks like he kinda cares? Clemenos stops to ponder, His eyes narrow by a margin when he casts them upon the attendants. If the festivities die down. Yes, Lord Husband. Lottie bows at him in hope that it will be the end to it, but his hand maintains a loose hold on her, even while he watches the writhing masses crowding the floor below. You gonna let her go? Even though Klimenos is no longer watching her, she does not know how he would take her retreating before his permission. In the end, she waits for a long moment in endured silence, before he eventually remembers her existence and squeezes her hand. That gesture alone leaves her in a momentary disappointment before he lets her go, leaning forward to grab his chalice instead. Lord Husband? He says nothing, and so she does not linger. Yeah, look at me out of here. Alright, so Klimenos, our husband, who I'm assuming is some sort of god, divine being, something not human. He doesn't seem like a bad person, like he's not hurting her or anything. I don't know why they have this marriage at this point. He let us go and he promised that he's gonna join us later, so he has to sort of like us if there's no ulterior motive in that statement. I don't have any bad feelings, no red flags yet. He just seems like kind of that cold, stoic type of guy, so we'll just keep on going. And hopefully we can find more about his character and why they have this arranged marriage. Away from the cacophony of music and laughter, Lottie finds the beat of her heart has slowed down to a bearable point. The jitters and anxiety leave her in a blessed moment. In the far ends of Klimenos' estate, where silence can be found again, she breathes out in relief. The blows of wind pushing down the hallway chills her to the bone, but is levity compared to the suffocation of bodies in the dance hall. Lottie knows not of what awaits her on this night is over, but she knows her life ahead will be a long and insignificant existence. A bride to a man of little interest in life, and in her by extension. She staggered towards the railing once her legs tire of the walk, only to find them weak and shaky down to the bones. It has been a long day, longer at night here in his domain. Lottie should find it fortunate that no one has cared for the happiness of the bride when they deliver their congratulations, because the crestfallen expression she has worn for the most of the night would sour their perception of her as anything more than Klimenos'. We knew you'd find her again. Again? Trifle little things. Always giving us such a headache, don't you think? Okay, yeah, definitely divinity, so they definitely see humans as insignificant. You're too easy on her. Let me know if you ever want advice on how to keep your little birdies in a row. I don't like that talk. Next one will be far more obedient, I'm sure. Ugh, this is icking me out. The thought of his anger unnerves her, but he has received the offer with the same attitude as always, indifference. She should be glad that he cares very little for existence. Enough that she has not faced the consequences of her misguided actions. Lottie can't even find it in her heart to think of it as such, not when it has been the only choice in life that was truly hers. She clutches her head, fingers pressed at her temples. The telltale signs of an incoming headache induced by the wine she liberally drowned in earlier. It is a miserable cure for her predicament, but is the only one she has. Oh, not drinking her sorrows away. After all, there is naught she can do here within the palm of his hand. If she ought to leave, he will know. Maybe he'll let her run like the first time she did it. Let her believe in the false hope that freedom is within her arm's reach. Okay, so she did run away at one point. That's why all those other gods are saying those gross things. Ugh, okay. Thankfully, Klimenos doesn't seem like a guy to punish her as far as I can tell. I hope I'm not going to be wrong at the end though. Then he'll come again, snuffing out any dream she harbors. Fool be her for harboring those dreams in the first place. But how can she not? After a wedding with no groom, and her continued time in confinement, even a caged bird dreams of soaring free. But as all caged birds do in front of freedom, their wings, too weak for flight, fall limp under duress and get swept away in the wind. At least, for those few moments in freedom, the bird has gotten a chance to experience the caress of sunlight. Not one behind glasses or bars, but the complete embrace of Mother Nature, true as can be. Oh, what she wouldn't trade to feel it again, tender on her skin, softer than the love her mother has ever given her. And to see him again, the man who has given her a taste of bliss. Someone that's not Klimenos? A human, maybe? Even now, her heart yearns for him. She longs for his smile, the warmth of his touch, and his adoring gaze. In his arms, she was someone who mattered, even if it was only for a moment, compared to the eternity she would have with Klimenos. She knows, it's a futile thought now, when she's already wedded for another. But what she wants is for her alone. No one can forbid her from dreaming, at least, for a moment. You should not stay out here. It's getting colder. Lottie's breath hitches. Before she can turn back and see who it is behind her, she feels a solid body keeping her where she stands. His warmth covers her from some of the cold, but nowhere near enough to save away the chill running down her spine. Oh, hello. Hey, Spuddy. I guess the party's over. Lord Husband. Lottie speaks, hating the feeble weakness of her voice. She freezes when she feels him leaning down, his nose brushing over the soft strands of her hair. Klimenos breathes in deeply when he reaches the crook of her neck, close enough for her to feel the inhale of his nose. In a blessed moment of levity, he turns away, exhaling into the cold wind. I thought you had returned to the chambers. He murmurs, fan on her ear. The shiver that she struggles to suppress is one of frayed nerves. I was lost in thoughts, my lord. She prays that there is enough remorse in her words that she wants to spell her apology out loud. Truly. His question is murmured into her skin, filling her with a cold dread she cannot name. Lottie stills her breathing the best she can, not wanting to offend him with the implication of her distance. Yes. I did not often have the chance to be among the companies of others growing up. The number of our guests overwhelmed me more than expected. You should have told me. At least, there is no accusation in his words, no condemnation, only a stern reminder that she has his ears. She does not know whether this is a boon or a bane. Only time can tell, she supposes. I didn't want to trouble you, my lord. Lottie can't even use the excuse that he was otherwise occupied, not with the way he has remained throughout the celebration. He knows that too. His next breath almost bears the sound of a laugh, but she doesn't know if it is so. Do you think I'm so easily troubled? I would dare not to presume, my lord. Yet, you presumed anyway. Bro, what do you want from me? Can I just go to bed at this point? Klimenos brushes his nose against her temple, once again, breathing in deeply before burying it into her neck. Never before has Lottie stood with such rigidity, afraid to even move an inch in his arms. What should I do with you now? Ooh, I might flinch, honestly, but I'm kind of scared. Like, he hasn't shown any animosity or anger towards us even after we ran away. But there's still this deep feeling that like he might do something harsh. Can we flinch away? I'm really curious. We're gonna flinch away. I want to see his reaction for that one, honestly. She is not meant to offend him, but her body moves without thinking. The closeness to him is too much, too soon. Her heart races with a cold dread, no longer able to withstand the heat of him. His disapproval is swift and firm. No matter how she moves, his hold won't relent. Unshakable and unrelenting in his entrapment. Oh, never mind. I think he's angry. Yeah, hey, buddy. She stills, paralyzed as a deer in front of the hunter's arrow. Her name sounds forbidden on his tongue, a curse with a promise of ruination. She knows it's wrong for her to shun him, yet her body won't accept this affection of his. Oh shit! I know you think of him. Lottie's heart sinks. He knows. Of course he knows. She's in his domain, in his palm, in his arms. Why wouldn't he know? She raises her head tentatively to meet his eyes, because she wants to know what he's thinking of when he says that. Even if she never understands him before, she hopes against hope that this would be the one time he would be open to answer her. Somehow, what she sees only plunges her further down to despair. It is understandable. Your impression of him is fresh. Only a moon ago ere your part. Attachment to mortals are seldom reasonable. I've witnessed many of my kindreds going down unwise paths for those so-called feelings. So I won't fault you for clinging onto these feelings. It is only natural to indulge in mortal sentiment when you spent so long among them. But make no mistake, wife of mine, he left you. Well, damn, you're not gonna tell me. No, is that how it ends? Wait, hold on. No. What do you mean he left her? I want to know more. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, that was the end of the demo. Oh, it was so good though. I got really into the story. All right, she'll call into the game, then I will take see. Friend, it's honestly really good so far. There are 3 variations and close in total. Oh, okay. All right, that was really good. All right, that was Grieve to Her Sorrows. I actually really enjoyed that one. Like the art and the music is really good. Very different from the usual anime style I'm used to in visual novels and dating sims. Really enjoyed that one. Our MC, Us, I really feel bad for her. There's still a lot I don't know, but I'm like 95% sure she's human, considering how all the other gods talked about her when she ran away, and how Climenos talked about human feelings and how she lived amongst them for so long. Climenos? Bro is hot as hell, but I'm kind of slightly scared of him. It's more so the unknown. Like, we don't know much about him. He's the stoic cold type of character, so he doesn't really show his emotions. You kind of have to guess based on maybe body language, but I feel like he doesn't show a lot of that either. So that's the scary part, is the unknown for his character. We don't have that much emotions to base off everything, but it seems like he does care about MC. A lot of question marks at the end of that statement. It's kind of hard to tell. At least he doesn't hate her. There's no indifference to her. Kind of cares about her. He did bring her back after she escaped, but he wasn't there for the damn wedding day, so he's very confusing. I really enjoyed that one. That was really fun. As always, don't forget, guys, I left links in the description. Definitely try out the game yourself. Definitely play yourself and choose whatever you think is right in your gameplay. Hopefully you might get something different with Climenos. All right, I think that is it for today. Don't forget that I have left links in the description if you want to try out the game yourself. If you do play the game yourself, don't forget to rate, comment, what have you, to let the creators know how much you enjoyed the game. I enjoyed it a lot. Definitely play yourself so you can do your own choices and see what endings you might get for Climenos. Alright, that is it for today. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if you guys enjoyed this video. I will always be releasing new content. Love talking about anime, and I'll see you guys all later. Bye bye!